Hi guys, my name is Byron Boshoff and you're watching Byron's Basics. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare frozen thawed mice and rats for your snakes. Now I'm going to show you the way I do it and the reasons behind why I do it. So first of all, what you're going to need is something to warm them up in. You're going to need some hemostats to actually feed the prey item to the snake, preferably the locking type, because what happens is that when you feed with tweezers, you may get a fright and drop the prey item before you've actually gotten a lock. So you'll attach the prey item, then lock it in, and then you don't have to worry about dropping the prey item and you yourself becoming the snake's next meal. Then you'll also need some Ziploc bags and a container. So what I like to do is I'll grab a sandwich bag like this one and I'll put my rats in here, all individually wrapped, and then I'll put them in a bigger Ziploc bag just so they're all together in the deep freeze and my wife doesn't throw a temper tantrum because she has to sort through a bunch of rats before she can get to the veggies. Okay, so now once you've got your rats all sorted into their bags, you'll put them in the deep freeze to get frozen up. Right, so now let's go to the next step. Okay, right, I've taken the rat out of the deep freeze. It's very solid at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're just going to set it down here in this tub and let it defrost throughout the day. And then we've got our mice here for the Western Hognose. She'll probably not eat, but we'll see if we can get it started again. So yeah, once this rat is fully thawed out, I'll show you the next step. Right guys, I actually forgot that my Western Hognose actually has to eat around lunchtime during the day when it's active. My ball python will eat tonight once the rat is fully thawed. So we're going to bring these guys down here and let me show you how I sort these guys out. So what I'm going to do is just grab a container, one that we don't use for our food. There's nothing wrong with these rats, but just out of good practice we're going to keep them away from what we eat. Just heating up some tap water here. Okay, right, now that I've got some hot water, all I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these guys in here. They're quite small, so they defrost very easily. You can see this one's already nice and soft. All we got to do is make sure that inside it's not still frozen. So what this hot water is going to do is going to finish the thawing process and then warm them up so they're ready for her to eat. Okay, right, so a bit of time has passed. I did change the water because it started getting a little bit too cool. So as you can see, I've got a small little fuzzy mouse and then a hopper mouse as well. The reason for that is my hognose is quite fussy, so she won't take a large prey item until she's taken the smaller one. The smaller one just gets her into a feeding response because I drop feed. You'll see that shortly. So the next step, what I'm going to do is take them out of here, dry them off nicely. I find that she doesn't like to eat them when they sopping wet. Let's give them a clean here or dry off. Right, now what I have to do is we grab another piece here. Again, this is the way I feed my Western Hognose, because she is hell of a fussy. She won't take a prey item if it's touched the substrate. Even if I take that prey item and put it back on a paper towel and offer it to her, she still won't take it. Right, so let's go off to the cage and do the feeding. Okay, right, this is my Western Hognose setup. It's a 30-litre container. She's about 17 months old, so this is perfect for her. We've got some trees for her to hide in. She's actually in the tree at the moment. She loves that tree. So I'm just going to set down the prey item there for her, and we'll just wait a moment and she'll come and pick that up when she feels like it. I have tried drop feeding, not drop feeding, I have tried tongue feeding. She gets very frightened and refuses to eat. So this is the way she's been fed since a hatchling. I got her as a hatchling. This is the way she's been fed, and this is the way she'll feed probably for the rest of her life. Okay, right, as you can see, she's having a look at her prey items there. I'm really hoping that she'll eat for us. Yeah, unfortunately that looks like a no-go. So I'll wait for her to settle down a bit. I'll dispose of those two prey items, and we try again next week. Hopefully she's feeling a bit better to eat. She hasn't lost a lot of weight. I keep track of her on a weekly basis. She's still very healthy, so there's absolutely no concern. She does this every year. The last time she went about 5 weeks, but it's very common for hognoses to do this sort of thing.
One eternity later.
Okay, right, so it's night time, and now as you can see, our rat is nicely thawed out. It's not cold, lukewarm. So now what we're going to do is let's fill this up with hot water. Right, so with the ball python, it's got heat pits on its top lip, and what we're doing is we stimulating those heat pits by making the rat warm. So I'm just going to put him in his plastic bag so it doesn't get wet in the water like that, and then let's just weigh it down with our tongs, and we leave him in there for a little while, about 10-15 minutes, and he'll be ready for python consumption. Okay, right, it's been about 10-15 minutes, so it should be ready to feed. Let's give it a feel. Yes, that's warm to the touch, like a live one would be. So let's get him out the package here. Right, and then what we're going to do is just going to clip it at the back here, because the python's going to strike it on the head and wrap around the top part of his body. So we want to be able to get the tongs out without hurting the snake. Right, let's go feed. Right, so now let's get this lid off. And he's not out of his hide, so I'm going to take his hide off and gently give him his food. Okay, so he didn't strike like we wanted him to, but this is my third time feeding it, and he's only struck once. Right, so there we go. One successful feeding. And then what we'll do is we'll let him finish this. I'll put the hide back in and let him digest for about 2 days. Then I'll weigh him, see how much he weighs after a meal, and then after he's pooped I'll weigh him again to get his actual weight. Okay, right, so it's been a couple of days since I fed him. You generally want to leave them for at least 48 hours before handling them, otherwise they can regurgitate, and that's really not healthy for a ball python, or any snake for that matter. I want to give a huge thank you to Leon Latergan and Martin Browning for encouraging me to start up my YouTube channel. You can find the links to their channels in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, or even if you didn't like the video, please just hit that thumbs up button. Right next to that you'll see subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and hit the post notification bell so you can know when next I upload a video.